We're learning all this for one single show, so we're spending 3 weeks in rehearsals, bringing all these new collaborations in and all these different musicians and all this different production just for one night only. So a lot of our fans around the world actually travel to Toronto each summer now to see this show because they know that we're pulling out all the stops. There's something special about this Toronto show every year.
Walk Off the Earth. I loved this. I thought this was a lovely behind the scenes, like friendly welcoming into their world and how they work. And it just created such positive vibes. You can tell it's all in the celebration of music and celebration of one another and artists who just love what they do. So we got invited into this like pretty epic one-time concert, or they do it once a year, but just feels like a very special thing to be invited into. And there's something like ceremonial about getting the peek behind the curtains of what this is like to put on such an epic show. So we got into the creative process and hearing their conversations, and then finally getting to see the result of it with that giant guitar was so cool, especially because that's not something that you get to see very often. So there was that anticipation and the momentousness of that. But overall, I just thought that was like really nicely paced. It was welcoming, but it still had that anticipation and the intensity and of the drive of the piece. And yeah, just made me more fans of their work.
Walk Off the Earth. I loved this. I think that this is such a great idea for bands to, go back to remember where they came from, where they got their start, where they, seemingly where they met, especially if that's, kind of hometown to everybody, whether they still live there or not. I think that this is such a great idea and such a great concept, and I love that this band makes it a priority and that they put so much into this kind of hometown show to make it really special, not just by adding a stop on like a tour or something like that where they happen to play in their hometown, but making it something separate and making it something special to really kind of show it's almost like showing how far they've come to the place where it all started, and really making a point to make that like a very, very special show, not just because my assumption is that more of their friends and family can make it to that show as opposed to any of the other shows, but also not just to the friends and family, but almost to give back to the city itself. And like I said, I think that it's a beautiful idea. I think that the way they captured it with the behind the scenes is always really fun to get to see, because as just a normal part of an audience, you wouldn't see all of the work that goes into it. You wouldn't see the rehearsal and the logistics and all the different aspects that go into creating a concert and a show like that. There's so many different moving pieces. There's so many different things that go into it that you just don't ever know, because if you're not in the industry, if you're not in that, like, if you're not part of that process, then the whole point of that is to put on a finished show, a finished concert that the audience doesn't have any idea how much actual work goes into it, because I think that that's part of the experience that they're giving. So I really, really enjoyed this.
Walk Off the Earth at Budweiser Stage 2024. I love this. I've never heard of this band, this rock band in Canada. Completely unique, really cool, different style that you guys have, and the instruments that you play. I love the big guitar and the kazoos. Just, you guys look like you're having so much fun. I know it's hard work, but you make it look easy and you make it look like so much fun. And the fact that you use unorthodox and custom instruments, just really cool. Blend of multiple genres, super creative and fun. I like the intro. I thought it was really nice, and the footage. I love that the big guitar is called the big ass guitar. Really fun music you guys have, and really fun to watch you do your hometown show, and that you got emotional during that, and just really cool. A lot of talent you guys have right there. Just very unique and so talented, and So glad I got to see it.